All right, Firebird football fans, Jay Candyboy back with you after a weather delay. Looks like it has passed us by, and checking out the press box here, I see a big moon, semi-cloudy. Fellas coming back on the field for both ball clubs, and about 5 minutes from the stretch get loose here as we get ready for second half action. Of course, our Birds up by a score of 14 to 10, my folks. Gonna warm back up here myself. Hey, I want to, as we always do, give a shout out to our main sponsors. Again, Jay Candyboy coming to you from the Jimmy John's press box. Couldn't do it without them. As they like to say, freak yeah. Jimmy John's, they're incredibly proud to support Chaparral football. They are the official press box sponsor, and we appreciate their support so much. Also, looking across at that brand new renovated scoreboard on top, the ScottsdalePrincess.com, home with the Fairmont Princess. We give a very special thank you to their family and all the friends of the Fairmont Princess for their scoreboard sponsorship. Take advantage of a 5-diamond luxury hotel, the TPC Stadium course, or the award-winning Well and Being top-rated spas. Also visit the La Hacienda Restaurant, Toro Latin Restaurant and Rum Bar, or the Bourbon Steak Restaurant. And by the way, folks, it's about 9:20 here local time. It's like 9:16. I'm starting to get kind of hungry though. I had a little Chick-fil-A at halftime. I had to get one of those down, one of our sponsors. Also, another great sponsor here. A lot of restaurants, and go figure with all the athletes that need to be well fed. And of course, many of our families, athletes, alumni do visit these particular sponsors, especially Raising Cane's. They are the official chicken finger sponsor for Chaparral football. They say we love our ongoing ticket and Booster Club Lounge sponsor, Raising Cane's, where they're always ready for the Chaparral Firebird game. And finally, our last scoreboard sponsor, Lerner and Rowe. And they say, in a wreck, need a check, we will fight hard to get you all the money you deserve. They're another long-standing, proud supporter of Chaparral Firebird football. So about 2 minutes showing on the clock as we wind down towards the second half here. Kind of briefly recapping, I don't have a stat guy, but doing my best. Jack Miller for the Birds, 2 touchdown passes unofficially, both 8-yard scoring strikes. And the running of Darvon Hubbard's been key in the offense for the Birds. The quarterback for Desert Mountain, again, the USC recruit, Keaton Slofus, using that West Coast offense under offensive coordinator Kurt Warner, more of a dink and dunk style offense, drop off, only putting up 10 points. And quite frankly, as I was talking about it coming down to the end of the second quarter there, if our defense could come up with some kind of a key stand, and they did, and Desert Mountain missed a very short, unofficially 28-yard field goal. Blake Parrington unable to connect there, and then the Birds went down and went ahead for the first time in the ball game with that touchdown moving in the half. That gives us our halftime score of 14 to 10. So again, the weather is cleared. We're ready for some good football here. I'm not quite sure where you are. The number 5 ranked Firebirds entertaining the Desert Mountain Wolves, their arch rival. This is the battle on Shea. And next week, folks, make sure you come out to Shaptown as we entertain La Jolla Community. They are the Fighting Lobos, and checking the book here to see if you've ever played La Jolla before. I was trying to go through some of the stats at halftime. I didn't see a score, so I can flip to it quickly here. La Jolla in the far west valley. Yeah, we have never played before, and La Jolla is located 116th Avenue in Avondale. Last year with a record of 2-8, but you can never take any opponent very lightly. And so the Birds certainly want to put this one away, maintain the number 5 ranking, and then look forward to entertaining La Jolla next week before having a bye week, the week of Labor Day. Technically the game would be September 7th, but there is no game scheduled for that week. And then that following week, the biggie, folks, going on the road to Saguaro to take on the arch rival Sabercats, who for years, the Battle of Scottsdale came down to the game between Chaparral and Saguaro. First time in 5 years that the two schools will have met, only separated by about 5 miles. No love lost between those two programs. So go down there and support our Birds as they hope to take down the Sabercats. So I understand we're losing at halftime. We're about ready for action here. The Birds will be kicking off with, check the wind. Yeah, the wind is out of the east. For those of you that listen to this webcast, broadcast, you know, the weather started kicking up. I talked about the wind and lightning coming around, and the referees wisely deciding to delay the second half and stay in the locker room a little bit longer for the safety of all the athletes out there. So sit back wherever you are in Birds land and root our Birds on to another victory tonight. It's a closely contested ball game. Birds up 14-10 as Tom Christakis ready to kick it away for Shat. With that wind, he may put it through the goalpost. And pretty close as it touches back through the end zone. So again, senior quarterback Keaton Slovis will be at the helm for the Wolves. They have featured really versatile athlete. Number 6, Maximus Walker has been the main person in their offense. Also a couple of wide receivers, number 9, Vince Ellison, and 25, Armand Reichelt have been the go-to guys. And look for that short passing game. Not many runs from offensive coordinator Kurt Warner in the first half. So once again, Slovis will center, under center. Oliver Karras right over the center, number 5 in your screen. Braxton Tester dancing around defensively. And there's a running play to Walker. Not much off the right side there. Going to be brought down by Jack Johnston and Zian. Tester. Zian had a very strong first half defensively for the Birds with a pick and also 2 sacks of Slovis. Of course, Zian is one of our 5 captains this year, senior leadership being shown on the field so far tonight. Short gain of 2, bring up a 2nd and 2, make that 2nd and 8 with the ball on the 22-yard line. Empty backfield this time for the Wolves. Slovis dropping, has a man, pumps, and has a reception across the way, the 30-yard line. So he's got another first down for the Wolves and go drag a couple defenders out across the way. It looks like Zian Tester, Cam Hightower, number 2 in their defensive also. And it's like both of the Tester brothers involved. Once again, Braxton involved there. So that's good for a first down. Ball up to the 33-yard line. Looks like the stands have thinned a little bit here. It was absolutely packed and overflowing the first half. Not sure because of the weather some people decided to take off. They're just standing not in the stands, but great turnout here tonight. Pass is going to be batted down. So you got his big paws up there. Looks like Jackson Richards. Yeah, good job, Jackson. Defensive end. Able to bat that one away. Jackson's 6'5", 215-pound. Lines up normally a defensive end spot. He and Oliver Karras, depending on if it's a 3 or 4-man front, will occupy those defensive end spots. So 2nd and 10 now upcoming. Again, empty backfield shown by Desert Mountain. Not quite settled offensively as motion comes near side. And lots of pressure right up the middle. Zian Tester gets away. And Jack Johnston all over Slovis. Z Tester slowing him down, and then Johnson able to wrap him up. So good job by a couple of Firebirds there. Big loss for the Wolves. Going to bring up a 3rd and whole lot. It looks like about 3rd and 20. Ball spotted at their own 22-yard line. As I mentioned, defensive coordinator Nolan loves to bring a ton of pressure, and you've seen that tonight. That matches the high-octane, aggressive style of head coach OC Brent Barnes. 10.5 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Birds up 14-10. Lots of time. Slovis wants to go downfield and does. Has a man. Overshoots his intended receiver. Intended for Tucker. Defensively, Ashton Littell. That sophomore's had a good ball game. A couple of nice hits on number 1 on a punt return. So the Wolves have to punt it away here in the first set of downs in this 2nd half. Devin Crawford dropping back to receive the punt about his own 40-yard line. Riley Tucker again settling in to punt it away. Going to be inside his own 10-yard line. Birds should get field position. Be very good for them here, especially with Tucker punting into a little bit of a stiff breeze now after that storm came through. Good snap. Low kick by Tucker. Going to bounce inside Birds territory. Down about the 40, 39, and be down there. So first down for Jack Miller and company in the second half. Again, 2 touchdown passes for Jack in the first half. Threw 3 last week in the season opening victory over Hamilton. So 5 for the Ohio State commit, the first game and a half this season. Look to see what Coach Barnes can do to get number 81 Tommy Christakis more involved. Unofficially, I think Tommy had 1 catch in the first half, only targeted 3 times. And Desert Mountain was doubling him, sometimes tripling him all night long. Tommy in the slot near side of your screen there. Devin Crawford, bottom of your screen, number 9, and Marcus Novell split out to the other side. A little swing pass to Hubbard. Looks for some running room. Good job by Darvon. Great run after catch into Wolves territory. Get a player down. He's all right. Number 18, Carlton. And number 12 was the injured player, Drake Mueller, for the Wolves, but gets up rather slowly. Going to be spotted at the 50-yard line, so move the sticks. First down for the Birds. Looks like we have an official's timeout. Yeah, he's that young man who's down to the turf. Going to come out and tend to him. Not sure if it's a concussion protocol, what's going on, but it was a whole lot of Darvon Hubbard he ran into there. Trainers from both teams going out to administer him. It's one of the things that at this level of football you got to love, just the sportsmanship, the camaraderie. Yeah, it's a heated rivalry, but football at this level is so pure, so good. Good to see. And he stretched out, so hope it's nothing serious for that young man. And again, it appeared to be, it was either number 12, it's Drake Mueller. I can't quite get the number as he's on his back there. Our hopes and prayers go out to the young man. He's okay, because he's flat on his back and being tended to, and they're up in the shoulder neck area. So that gives me an opportunity to once again give a shout out to some of our commercial sponsors who we so much appreciate for helping us out. State Farm, proud sponsor of Chaparral football, along with Clean Freak, where I go get my card detailed, take care of. They are truly clean freaks. And the site of today's pregame Birds get together, Caramba, on the northeast corner. And that's good to see for that young man. That is Drake Mueller, as I mentioned. Up and walking, it was under power. That's great, great. Trainers assisting him over there. Good. Don't want to have anybody get hurt or have any harm come to anyone. So after that play, Birds have the ball right at the midfield stripe. 1st and 10. 9:59 remaining in the third, up 14-10. Now we're ready for action as Miller surveys the defense. And here comes the blitz by the Wolves. Jack being flushed, and he's going to be brought down. A trio of Wolves defenders. Number 54, 44, and 54. So Cole DiDario, Adrian Storm, and Ethan Mikowski all wrapping up Jack Miller. You can see a little bit of pent-up anxiety and stress there, trying to get Jack slammed to the turf, but didn't do a good job of that. So Jack sacked on that first down play, back to the 40, the 40 and a half, almost the 41-yard line of the Birds. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 19. Jack at his 35. Again, the Wolves show pressure. Don't come this time. Jack rolling to his left, being flushed, and launches across his body. Oh, very catchable ball. That one should have been caught, folks. Marcus Novell, he normally of the very good sure hands, dropped that one at the 45-yard line of the Wolves. So after that one falls to the turf, that brings up a 3rd and 19. Responding to a test message here. Yep, we are up and running again. So 8:52 remaining in the third. 3rd and 19. Ball at the 41. Let's see what Coach Barnes dials up here. Jack dropping Plenty of time underneath, off of Devin Crawford's hand. Tip drill almost picked off by the safety back there. Riley Tucker almost fielded that one like a shortstop, able to pick that one, but did not. That one a little bit hot for Devin Crawford, so the Birds are going to have to punt it away as Tommy Christakis drops from the slot position back to kick it away, standing about his own 25-yard line. Tucker and Walker dropping back deep for the Wolves. Tucker, the up man, standing about his 35, and with the wind, Walker taking no choice this time. He's got that strong leg all up in that wind. Outstanding punt as whistles stop action. And looks like he fielded that snap and put his knee down. That's unfortunate. That's the second time in 2 weeks that's happened, so not a great snap. And with the knee going down, that means the Wolves will get outstanding field position at the 27-yard line. Low snap, and Tommy had to retrieve it. Knee goes down, and Wolves get the ball there. 8:45 remaining a third. Birds up 14-10. Jake Handyboy coming to you. Compliments of the Chaparral Football Boosters Club. Bring you all these games. Of course, Firebird football via the YouTube link. Let your family and friends know. Bird Nation, this is exciting ball club, folks. 1-0, rated number 5 in the state. You don't want to miss the action this year. So second offensive set now for the Wolves. See if they can capitalize on this short field. Slovis drops, fires, quick slant. It's going to be caught. Complete to Vince Ellison. Nice catch. Alex Monson defensively dragging him down. But not until another first down is picked up for that Wolves offense. I mentioned it before, you've heard it here, that dink and dunk West Coast style OC Kurt Warner very much on display right there. Moves the ball down to the 16-yard lines. Wolves looking to go ahead here with their second possession of the second half. Twins left and right shown. Quick hit, batted down. Jackson Richards beat number 59. Big man right there in the throwing lane, batting that one to the turf. Jackson listed as 6'5".
This is total fake news. The Caras has won again the 50-50 raffle.
8:17 remaining in the third. Little press box frivolity from Mark Carroll and Matt Clyfield, the scoreboard and PA announcer for the Birds here at Shaptown. They've been doing it for a long time. They have a lot of fun up here with these fellas. Slovis drops, launches one, lots of air, lots of space, but runs out of space back to the corner of the end zone. Intended for Ellison.
Slovis's pass is incomplete.
Crawford defensively for the Birds, but nowhere to go there. Ran out of territory. It'll bring up a third down and 10. Ball still at the 16, 17-yard line there. Make it the 16-yard line. That breeze is picked up, as I mentioned. It sure feels good. And what was a hot, still night here in Scottsdale, Arizona has turned out to be absolutely beautiful. That bend, but no break defense. Jace Jorgensen raising up his arms, imploring the Bird faithful to get into it. Jace lined up right over the center so he can make his presence known defensively here. And here come the Birds. Lots of pressure all over Slovis. Hit as he releases. Pass is going to be caught. And Reichelt inside the 10-yard line. Good reception, spotted just inside at the 9-yard line. Cam Hightower wrapping him up there. Looks like about a 4th and 2. And it appears the Wolves are going to go for it here.
Brings up 4th and 3 for the Wolves.
Make it 4th and 3. And Mark Carroll, public address announcer of the Birds, imploring the Firebird faithful, get loud, get rowdy, make some noise. 4th and 3. And Desert Mountain looks like they're going to want to talk about it here. Look at the Birds are going to want to talk about it. DC Mark Noling wanted to get his troops on the sideline after he got a look at what Desert Mountain initially came out with and see what he decides to do defensively. Which, of course, gives me another opportunity to talk about our great sponsors here in Chaparral Firebirds football. I already mentioned them once, but our yummy breakfast this morning brought to us from Wildflower Bread Company. They're a standing proud supporter of Chaparral Firebird football, and they bring the QB Club breakfast every week. Last week was pancakes and bacon. This week it was eggs and Kenyan bacon and pastries. And I mentioned, to be able to go to that, folks, all you have to do is be a Boosters Club member, the silver level higher. And if you pick up one of our great programs that are free, it outlines what you need to do to be a silver level member for the Booster Club. It's a small donation of $750 to the program. And if you go higher, gold or big bird, it entitles you to more benefits, but come support your birds. And then you get to have the honor and privilege of listening to Coach Barnes every Friday morning, break down the game film, talk about last week's results and strategies for the upcoming contest that night. So 4th down and 3, the Wolves are going to go for it. Slovis with the multi-talented Maximus Walker to his left as we come out of the set here. It's like a hard count, trying to draw the birds off. Slovis drops, fires across the middle, has a man, it's complete inside the 5. Now that's going to be good for a first down. The ever-reliable Vince Ellison able to pick up the first down, and quickly up to the ball are the Wolves. Trying to run up another play for the defense could shift too many on the personnel side. Walker going to be brought down by Oliver Karras. Good defensive stop there by Oliver. Not much on that one, maybe a half a yard. So let's bring up a 2nd and goal to go, ball just inside the 4. 7:30 remaining, Birds up 14-10 here in the 3rd quarter. Play clock down to 13, 12, 10. You can probably see it in the corner of your screen there. So still plenty of time for the Wolves offense. Got to get there. Absolutely motion in the backfield. This is going to be called back. Nope. Movement in the backfield. That's not gonna work. Preliminary touchdown should be called back. I can see that from up here. Very, very obvious. The referee threw his hanky. And that's the call. Gotta wait till the ball snaps before you can move, unless you're in motion. So that's going to cost the Wolves 5 yards. Bring the ball about the 9-yard line, still 2nd down here. I mentioned about that bend, but don't break defense. Coach Mark Nolan. Very talented group of linebackers, the Tesslers. Jackson Richard to the defensive end. Oliver Karras, defensive end. Cam Hightower, 2 interceptions last week, I should say, at the safety position. Very strong defense. Jace Jorgensen right up the middle of the nose guard. This time Slovis's pass is caught again. Who else but Mr. Reliable, Vince Ellison, on a quick slant. This time inside the 5, down about the 1.5-yard line. To bring out a 3rd and a yard and a half. That's been an effective play. It's been open for the Wolves, quite frankly, all night long. A quick slant. And strong arm Slovis able to get that in there. Big number 79, Sardar Aziz, the sophomore 6'2", 305-pound nose guard checking in. As the Wolves look to possibly punch up the middle, and Chat counters with their heavies right in the middle there. It is the power I formation shown by Desert Mountain. And nothing going there. Oh, wow. Great defensive stop. Jace Jorgensen right up the middle, all over him, and knocking down the ball carrier. Big Jace, 6'2", questionable. 240-pound nose guard. Good job, Jace. Good penetration. Brings up a 4th and 3. So we've been here not that long ago. Looks like we get a stoppage of play on the clock. What's going on down here? Sitting down is Ben Edelblut, number 10. Could be a equipment malfunction or something. This time the Wolves are going to spread it out. Slovis talking to the referee. Play clock still running. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6. This is unusual. 5. We're resetting the play clock. Okay. See if the referee's going to give us any kind of indication here. I believe because of the equipment malfunction, Edelblut had to leave the field. It makes sense to need to reset and go from there. referee should wind and start the clock at that point, but it wasn't done. So with that being said, Desert Mountain 4th and 3, 5:34 in the third, trailing 14-10. Trying to get some points on the scoreboard here. Looks like they are going to go for it and possibly regain the lead here at Shaptown. Now we got the clock winding again, and the Chaparral faithful, I'm sure you can hear them, doing their best to make lots of noise. Motion near side. Slovis flag flies. It's going to be against the offense or possibly defensive encroachment. See what we got. It is against the Birds, it looks like. It's a preliminary.
Offside on the defense.
Yep. A little happy down there. So that's going to be halfway to the goal line. That means it'll be 4th and 1.5 yards now for pay dirt for the Wolves. Interesting play call on 4th and 1.5 yards. O.C. Warner wanting to spread it out. Walker to Slovis's left. Motion goes far side. Slovis rolling right, looking, fires, has a man, and great defensive play right there. Ben Edeldude, the sophomore, stepping into the passing lane, knocking that one away. Ben, with his defensive instincts, make that. He's a junior. I apologize, Ben, especially Shireen. Now you're on our board. I apologize for your son. A great read by Ben right there in the passing lane, stepping in there, knocking that one down, and once again that bend but don't break defense, able to keep Desert Mountain off the scoreboard. Been a couple times tonight that they have absolutely turned them away and kept them out of the end zone. So Miller now in the offense. Jack standing in the middle of the end zone, trying to get the hard count to draw the Wolves offside, but to no avail there. Try it again. And gives to Darvon, looking for some running room. Good job out of the end zone, Darvon. Looks like he has a first down on that very gutsy run right up the A-gap. Brian Groger got to give up the big number 51, leading the way there, Brian. Great job opening up that hole. He and Von Grobe opening up daylight for big Darvon. This time Darvon hunting, pecking to the outside, close to another first down. At the 24, 25-yard line, another first down for the Firebirds. So back-to-back runs by Hubbard, and great job. About 22 yards and 2 carries there for big Darvon. Plays being signaled in as we wind under 5 minutes in the third quarter. Birds up 14-10. Looking to add to their lead here. Hubbard again off the left side, lowers his hat. About 3 or 4 that time. This time running behind big number 76, Sam Weiner. Sam opening up a nice hold there. A gain of 3, bringing up a 2nd and 7. So 3 consecutive runs to start this offensive drive so far for Shap. About time for Coach Barnes to dial up one through the air. And that's the case. A little play action. Jack fires near side. Tanner Kostakis fighting for a couple extra yards up to the 40-yard line. Tommy C. refusing to go down. Miller to Kostakis. Good to call that out. That's a very successful combo for our Birds. That means move the sticks again. Another first down. So Birds on the move from their own 1-yard line and so far out to the 40-yard line with 4 minutes now remaining in the third quarter. This time fresh legs in the backfield, and it could be all the way to the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown Birds. Jared Williams, his first carry of the ball game, and the sophomore 5'10", 185-pound running back streaks the daylight. Unofficial 60-yard touchdown run for Jared Williams. Fresh legs gashes the defense of the Wolves and into the end zone. That ups the score to our Birds 20 and Wolves 10. It's been a heavy dose to run here in the second half, and give it up to Darvon Hubbard, so leading the way, and Jared Williams, changeup back, absolutely streaking the end zone 60 yards into the promised land. At the 3:56 mark is Tommy Kostakis again on for the PAT. Edelbrook the holder. Snaps down, kicks up, and it's good. That increases the Birds' lead to 21-10 with 3:56. This is kind of what we expected. So that offense waking up, defense bending but not breaking. Good play call to see those runs and get the Birds quite a few more points there on the board. And of course, it means commercial time from Jay. So looking through our great program, I say, look at this great picture. Excuse me, from Moscone's. Moscone's American Kitchen, northeast corner of Tatum and Shea. Lunch, dinner, Sunday brunch, fresh, local, incredible. Hey, by the way, you pick up this Dynamite program here, you get a complimentary bread pudding for dessert with the purchase of an entree. So bring in this program, we'll hook you up with a little bread pudding, man. I'm down. I'm a dessert guy, unfortunately. So again, looking through here, we've talked about it a couple times. Infinity of Scottsdale, they're also a scoreboard sponsor. I may have neglected to mention that. So thank you so much, Infinity of Scottsdale. Again, the scoreboard has been redone. If you're here at Shaptown, you can see it. Lit up thanks to Wojo and some of the technical guys at our Jimmy John's press box, right? I know I mentioned before, Jimmy John's, they're freak, yeah. Lit up, gonna have some Jimmy John's signage in front of this press box. Gonna give some love out to them. Gotta love their fresh baked bread. Kostakis again ready to kick away with a breeze behind him. Put this one in the end zone, I would think, and that's gonna be the case. It could be offsides though. Flag flies across the way. That appears to be the preliminary call. No excuse for that. That's just a mental error. You know your kicker's going to drive it in the end zone, got a wind behind him, and I know the boys are anxious, want to get down there and make a play, but sometimes you got to contain yourself. So after the penalty, the ball should be teed up at the 35-yard line. Tucker Walker back deep, and Reichelt also for the Wolves. Tommy teeing it up at the near hash, about the 35-yard line. Want to also make sure that you guys do remember that our online broadcasting, that's the press box, is also sponsored by Jimmy John's, so give them some double love here. They deserve it as much as they've given the program, and give them recognition here as Walker tries to bounce the outside and find a running lane. Spins outside the 25, 27, 28-yard line. Good defensive pursuit. Alex Monson, I see, also along with Damon Williamson. Christian Bauer also in one of his first varsity tackles. 3:45 now remaining in the third quarter. So what will the Wolves do here? It's been a while since they put any points on the scoreboard. Again, lots of yardage, but haven't been able to either get anything through the uprights or in the end zone. So see Oliver Karras, number 5, near side of your screen, asking the fans to get a little vocal. Zian Tessler looking to come, and there is pressure. Pass is complete. Pass is underneath, going to be tackled by Ashton Liddell and caught by Drake Mueller. That's the young man that was stretched out horizontally on the field, so good to see him up and playing. Gain of 5 on that one. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 5.
Please come to the press box, please. Lisa Bauer to the press box.
Slovis surveying the defense, trips far side of the field, plenty of time, now being pressured underneath the Walker, dumps it off, breaks one tackle, spins outside the, wow, good offense, make that athletic move by Walker. Ball comes out, but Desert Mountain maintains that, broke a tackle from Parker Smith, He had Walker in there, but a spin move absolutely left Parker behind, and then got past the 40-yard line, dropped on the turf, but the Wolves able to recover and get a first down there, so they'll move the sticks. Ball at the 41 with 2:55 now remaining in the third. Birds up 21-10. Lots of pressure. Slovis running for his life. Dumps it off for a screen, but Walker, a very catchable ball. Lets that one go through his hands.
Walker.
Jace Jorgensen right there defensively for the Birds. Good defensive pursuit. Bring up a 2nd and 10. That's certainly what Warner is trying to do with that defensive pressure and pursuit, is to offset some of that with the underneath screen game. It hasn't been real successful for the Wolves tonight. They've had one nice gain on that one, but not much else to speak for. Offensively, their most effective plays have been those quick slant routes and some bubble screens. Empty backfield this time. Slovis dropping, being flushed, rolls. Jace Jorgensen in hot pursuit. Jace after him. Slovis going to go out about the 48, 49-yard line, knocked out of bounds across the way.
Slovis with the keeper.
Looks like Liddell knocking him out there. Inside Bird's territory, but knocked down after he picks up another first down, so move those sticks across the way. I think his spot's about the 48. So Slovis, athletic move. Jace Jorgensen slowly coming off the field here. Probably get a little blow. It's a good run for Jace. Good pursuit by that young man. This time Slovis under center. Tucker in motion, near side pitch to Walker. Trying to follow his blockers. Initial contact by Crawford, and a couple of Firebirds wrap him up there. Zian Tesler.
Walker, the ball carrier.
And once again, Ashton Liddell. Very active. Ashton, 5'10", 175-pound sophomore. Seeing a few fresh faces in the defense this week. And Coach Nolan trying to keep those boys fresh, realizing with the kind of offense that Desert Mountain has, especially after last week's game against Hamilton, keep that defense as fresh as you can with lots of bodies. Slovis fires. Back shoulder side catch and throw. Well thrown, Ellison. I mentioned he's been their go-to guy, Cam Hightower, defensively for the Birds, but nice catch by Allison. Little smack being talked. Both of them just knock it off and play ball. They'll move the sticks again as we approach 1:20 now remaining in the third. Wolves on the march again here. This has kind of been their MO. They can move up and down the field, but not punch in the red zone. Slovis dropping. Sets, fires a fastball. Nice catch in traffic. Wow. Got to give it up to Riley Tucker in triple coverage. Finally brought down by Liddell, but he fired a fastball, and Tucker, good hands to snag that one right there. And inside the 10-yard line goes that young man after that outstanding catch. And certainly on that one, Slovis showing why he is going to USC. That strong arm. Penalty is against the Birds in that play. Holding is the call. So the penalty is going to be declined. So the Wolves will set up once again with a first down. Check it. They have moved the sticks across the way. Yep, declined. There we go. There goes a chain gang. And looks like the ball is about the 6-yard line, so first and goal to go again for the Wolves. So can that defense do it one more time here in the third quarter as time winds down with 40 ticks left? Slovis looks near side, fires, has a man. Touchdown Wolves. Well designed play. Who else? Mr. Reliable, Vince Ellison. Cam Hightower defensively on the coverage, but Ellison underneath and in the end zone. Puts the Wolves on the board first time in almost 2 quarters. The Wolves have scored. That cuts into the Birds' lead, making the score 21-16 here. Just the Wolves may be going for 2 here. A lot of shuttling of personnel. Flag on the field. See what's going on with this one. It's like the Birds are putting in their defensive heavy package with Big Sardar Aziz checking in, number 79. Jace Jorgensen, number 52. Referee's talking this one over. See what this is all about. Not sure if he had a legal substitution, 12 players on the field at one time, or exactly what's going on there. So they'll get it right eventually. Well, most of the time they get it right. They're the Zebras after all. And it appears the Wolves will go for 2 here. Coach Barnes looking for an explanation. Not still fully satisfied, I can tell by his body language down in front of us here on the near sideline. Another flag flies.
Net ball, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against the defense.
Unsportsmanlike conduct was the call, and it looks like another one may be called against Coach Barnes here or something like that. Linesman going over to talk to the referee. So they will get this sorted out tonight, folks, and we'll continue playing football here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And once again, the linesman coming over to talk to Coach Barnes. Pick up his hanky. Wish each other a good evening, I'm sure. And after all of that, and the dust settles, the ball is on the 3-yard line. And the Wolves are going to go for 2, it does appear. And they are. So Slovis, once again, at the helm. Walker to his left. Twins right with motion far side. Slovis looks near side, lofts one up. Got a man, and good defense there, no call. Cam Hightower defensively for the Birds. Great job by Cam all over Reichelt. So Cam, who had the touchdown right in front of him, good job in the 2-point conversion. So after all of that, with 34.2 ticks remaining in the third quarter, our score, Birds 21 and the Wolves 16.
And her husband Craig wanted to make sure that everybody knew today was her 65th birthday.
So public address announcer Mark Carroll having some fun with one of the local parents, Lisa Bauer. It's part of the family atmosphere at Chaptown. You gotta love it. You've been around this. You gotta come experience it. A lot of support, good times, great football, good coaching staff, quality education. It's what makes Chaptown and Chaparral High School such a destination spot for athletes and students from around the valley. Quite frankly, from out of state too, coming to be a part of this program. So 34.2 remaining in the third after about a 35-40 minute lightning delay. It's almost 10 o'clock here in Scottsdale, Arizona, but we still have a quarter and 30 seconds to play before we find out the winner of this one. Tight ball game, 21-16. Not as high scoring as we had anticipated, but still got a quarter of football to go here. Looks like the offense has found a little bit of their mojo in the end of the second quarter, third quarter, and the Wolves finally answer with their first scoring drive in almost 2 quarters. So after the unsportsmanlike penalty calls against the Birds, the Wolves will kick off at the Birds 40. So I would imagine they do until they get their hands team up there, anticipating possibly an onside kick. Why not? I mean, if it goes 10 yards, Shap gets the ball at the 30. That's certainly what I would do. And possibly get a bad bounce, have it go off somebody's foot, and you get the ball. Instead, they kick it up. Interesting call. It goes out of bounds. Wow. That's terrible, quite frankly, folks. It means it goes out of bounds. Then Shep gets the ball at the 35-yard line. So, oh my. Okay. So Jack Miller, and on the offense, will come back onto the will come with the ball at the 35. That's a head scratcher there, folks. And I'm not the coach. I'm just a play-by-play broadcaster, but that one makes no common sense at all. So, as I mentioned earlier, this place was brimming with lots of energy, passion, students, alumni, boosters, parents. Quite a few have cleared out. Of course, it's a Friday night. I think a lot of students may be on to other plans. Birdcage still remains strong here. Looking to bring on our boys to another victory here. Hope we go 2-0. I'll tell you what, these referees tonight, they have done more conferring and trying to get things right. I personally was a football referee for 10 years, and I guarantee the crews I was on, it never took us this long to get a call straight. So I know they want to get it right, not degrading the refs, but wake up. Whew. Ball goes out of bounds, the kickoff in high school football. It means the ball goes to the 35-yard line. And so it's down there. Coach Barnes trying to get a decision as far as what is actually being said. And so trying to get a full understanding of what's going on. So after the explanation comes down to the coach, we'll see what's going to go on exactly. And they're trying to, I guess they're going to replay this thing. I don't know why that is. Procedure against Desert Mountain. Ball's back to the 45-yard line. And I don't comprehend. I'm going to go over to the press box, see if these guys have any idea. What in the world is that? I'm trying to explain to my listeners. I have no clue. He kicked out the ball out of bounds. I don't get that call. I'm at a loss, folks. I went over to Matt Clyfield and Mark Carroll, the crew, and trying to figure it out. But ball flies off the tee with the wind, and ball's at about the 45-yard line. They may have to hold it. If you guys know the answer, text me, man. 602-388-6324, because that's a new one to me. I've been around football for decades. So regardless, Narveson will tee it up at the 45-yard line of the Birds and kick off again. I think. There, we're ready. Short kick again. And looks like Devin Crawford's going to field it past the 22-yard line. After all of that, the Birds will get the ball in the third quarter with 29.2 remaining. See what they can do to run out the third quarter and then start this fourth quarter strong. Ball officially at the 21. Checking the upcoming schedules I talked about. Next week, La Jolla Community coming in. Bye week the week after that in Saguaro. Then we have Mountain Ridge at home and Boulder Creek as we go into district play. Should be quite a district with highly touted Spencer Rattler from Pinnacle and going to Oklahoma. They beat Gilbert Perry last week in a big upset. As flags fly again, this refereeing crew is incredible. It's only that game against the Birds. Getting pretty sloppy here, folks. So 5 yards marched off. And we will end the third quarter here eventually. Now Jack and team is ready. Jack fires downfield. Tommy Christakis spins out of bounds to 40. And I got a clarification coming through on my phone. I appreciate that, guys. What's it say about that play? It says it was an offside on the kickoff. Doesn't matter if the kick was out of bounds. Re-kick. Weird. They should have called it like that. It should have been called immediately, but they had to figure it out. So thank you. Not quite sure. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. You guys out there in Birdland now know what happened and why it took us so long to get that straightened out. So first down for our boys at the 38-yard line. Jack play fakes, fires down the field. Tommy C wide open, but misfired by Jack. Christakis, another flag flies in the area of Coach Barnes. Now the linesman, looks like Coach Barnes' linesman not quite best friends here tonight. See if we can get another unsportsmanlike. If it is, it's going to be the 4th one of the night against the Birds. Dead ball. Oh. Yep, unsportsmanlike conduct. That's 4 against Shap tonight, and I think 2 maybe against Coach Barnes. So he's got to give some love to that linesman down there. They're definitely not on the same page. After that one stepped off, puts the ball back at the 24-yard line. I'll bring up a 2nd and 25 now. Play clock down to 14, 13. Now the boys are ready. Twins far side. Hubbard gets a handoff, looking for some running room, slashes the outside to 30. Hits the corner, lowers his hat down to about the 37-yard line. Good run by Darvon. Bouncing the outside. Raleigh Tucker, we called his name a ton tonight, number 2, forcing Darvon out of bounds there. Ball spotted just short of the 37-yard line. We bring up a 3rd and very manageable 12 yards here. Christakis, Norvell, bottom of your screen. Jack drops, plenty of time, fires. Tommy Christakis could go all the way. The 30, the 20, the 10. Tommy C for a TD. Touchdown Birds. Miller to Tommy Christakis. Jack Miller's 3rd touchdown pass of the evening. Unofficially, it'd be a 66-yard touchdown strike from Miller to Christakis. The 2 highly touted juniors hooking up on that one. This time does run out in the 3rd quarter here, so Tommy, after that long run, has to go on and kick that PAT. Nice strike that time from Miller. It'll beat the holder. Great snap. Tommy's kick is up. And after 3, our score, Birds. $27. Make that 28. I was going to wait for a point, but I thought I had 28. We had 4 touchdowns, folks. And 16 for the visiting Wolves. So after 3, up by 12. Offense definitely picking it up. I was waiting to see if that delayed calls referee crew was going to wipe that point off the board. They've been a little slow tonight. So anyway, our boys looking good in the 3rd quarter, coming out of the half and stretching the lead at 28-16. One more time, let's give a shout out to our broadcast and press box sponsor, Jim E. John's. Freak yeah. By the way, in case you didn't know, they got Kickin' Ranch sauce, and I've had this stuff, man. It is awesome. You put it on those sandwiches. So check them out. Visit jimmyjohns.com to find a location near you. They've been doing it since 1983 with gourmet sandwiches. And I go back to my trusty program here, which has all kinds of good stuff. I already mentioned them once, but kind of a post-game tradition. Zips Sports Grill. 2 locations close by Shaptown here, Via de Ventura and Hayden, and also 64th Street and Greenway Parkway. That's the one I have been known to frequent from time to time. So the Birds will kick off. Tommy Christakis into the wind. Deep, as always, Reichelt and Walker for the Wolves. Good to see that offense getting a little bit of momentum. A little slow out of the gates in the first half. Could be a little bit of hangover, but I don't think so from that win against Hamilton. Coach talked about that this morning, QB Club. He said Monday morning the boys came to practice. They were ready to go. Again, mostly the ones that had that bitter taste in their mouth, that loss last year from that bogus call that cost us the win against Desert Mountain at Desert Mountain. New season, new game, and we are up 28-16 as we start the 4th. Short kick this time. We field by one of the up men. The 30, the 35-yard line. That's Brett Narvison. He handles a lot of the long kicking duties for the Wolves. Be about the 30-yard line. Coach also talked about, and I mentioned the onside kick that he busted out last week against Hamilton. He says he can look for one of those almost every week out of his kicking game. I like it. Again, being aggressive. So will that be upcoming? I don't know. We'll see. All right, up the defense now. Jack Johnston, Jace Jorgensen, Oliver Karras, Jackson Richards, and company, the Tester brothers. What we got in store this time defensively against Mr. Slovis. Empty backfield, Slovis being flushed, under pressure, finds a man, attacked immediately by Monson, but Reichelt, been his second leading receiver tonight. Number 9, Ellison, leading the Wolves in catches. Reichelt, Mr. Reliable, able to haul that one up to the 47-yard line, and a first down for the Wolves. This one certainly isn't over yet. A lot of football to be played, a lot of time on the clock, especially when you got two passing offenses like both these ball clubs feature. Empty again, shown by Desert Mountain. Quick strike, tip drill, and it's going to be caught by the Wolves. Wow. Wow. Pass initially intended for Reichelt, bounced off one of the Birds defenders, and then caught by, trying to see who brought that one down. We don't have a spotter with me. Looks like Riley Tucker able to haul that one in on that ping pong ball down to about the 36-yard line. Wow. That one was up for grabs for anybody, and Desert Mountain grabbed it. So first down, move sticks again, 11:03. Fires, got a man in the flat, wide open, lots of running room across the way. The 20, cuts back inside. Edelboot with the tackle, but not until Walker has lots of running room and move the sticks one more time. Wolves on the prowl here, looking to bounce in the end zone again and cut in that sharp lead and answer for that last strike from the Firebirds. Ball spotted at the 18-yard line. Jack Johnson, Jace Jorgensen, right there in the middle. Four-man front this time. Birds showing blitz. Slovis being flushed. Fires, got a man, overthrows him. Zian Tesler close to Slovis that time. Just too much air under that one. Again, we've seen already that strong arm of Slovis. Very mobile. I mentioned the first half, 6'3", 195. He gets to USC, the Trojans will beef him up. I don't know if he'll play quarterback or not, but if he does, he'll probably be playing about 210-ish. Let's say the Trojans have produced a few good quarterbacks the last 30 years. So quite a tradition coming out of Desert Mountain under Kurt Warner's tutelage to go to the USC Trojans. Walker sets up on the right side of Slovis this time. Trips bunch near side, and all kinds of pressure right in Slovis' face. Zian Tesler leading the charge, wrapping him up. His brother Braxton also there. And got to give some love to Cameron D'Souza. All over him. I'm going to give that sack to Zian. That's 3 for the night. Right up the middle, huge loss. So it's going to be about a 3rd and 21. Ball at the 30-yard line as my stuff blows around here in the booth. A little blustery. See if Desert Mountain's going to take a timeout here or not. They're down to 10. They still don't have a play. And yeah, Slovis is across the way on the deck. Hope he's okay. He's put on quite a show tonight. Again, I don't have stats, folks. I wish I did, but he has got to have a ton of completions. Make sure you check Max Preps. They'll have the numbers up there after posted. Of course, our own Jack Miller's had a great game with 3 touchdown passes himself. Darvon Hubbard did a nice job running the rock. And who can forget Jared Williams on his first carry of the ball game. 66-yard sprint unofficially to the promised land for a touchdown for the Birds. So 9:45 remaining in the ball game. And we'll see what happens here on a 3rd and 21 for Desert Mountain. Again, I want to give one more shout out to Joel Sanchez. Joel, love you, brother. Appreciate you being our cameraman this year, man. It's all good. welcome to Shaptown. Welcome to Shap Victory. It's a great tradition. Glad to have you on board. We will be bringing you all of the home streaming games, guaranteed. On the road, we're going to do our best. I say that because, again, I mean, those of you who listen to the first half, we were at the mercy of the hosting schools' data connections. So, 3rd and 21 here. Empty, go the Wolves. And Riley Tucker now at the helm. Launches one back underneath, throws a screen pass. Well designed, looking for some running room is Williams. You make that Walker, Maximus Walker, and does a great job of gaining a lot of yards as we have a Firebird limping. Let's see who that is. Is that Edelbutt? No, that could be Ben. He's got to go down. Yeah, it is Ben Edelbutt. That's not a good sign. But Maximus Walker with Maximus effort. Wow, what a great run after catch on that little screen. Obviously, with quarterback Keaton Slovis knocked out for at least a play, Tucker coming in at the helm and able to find Maximus Movimus. Tons of moves by him. Cutting back across the field and being brought down, but unfortunately for the Birds, Ben Edelbutt, who's been all over the field tonight, on his back and being checked by the trainers. Hope that young man is okay. He's up, which is good. There appears to be something in his, oof. Oh boy, no pressure on that left leg. I hope it's not a knee situation. We certainly hope the best for Ben. Put a little bit of pressure on it, not much. So, Mama Shireen, you're on the board. I know your son's going to be okay. I know our thoughts and prayers go out for that young man. They're going to attend to him real quickly, get him over here and see what's going on. You know, with that being said, I have to apologize, folks. That's not 10. It looked like a 10 from my vantage point. It was number 16, Ashton Liddell. So it's at 16. Hard to see that number, folks, and I apologize for that. For action, we're back to 4th and 7 for the Wolves. Slovis is back in at the helm, being flushed. Going to run for his life. The left side fires, has a man, and it is complete. Close to the first down marker. Let's see where they marked that. Reichelt able to haul that one in. Looks like he's just short of the first down, and that is the case. The spot is going to be in favor of the Birds, so the defense, once again, bend but don't break. Great job down there, especially after losing Ashton Liddell, as the trainers tend to him on the near sideline on the table. Hope he is okay. So good job by that defense. 8:41 remaining in the ball game. Birds up 28-16. The score here would sure look nice to start putting a nail in a coffin, the proverbial coffin. Out go our boys in black and scarlet. It's actually called, our colors are truly scarlet and old gold. So many schools, of course, as we all know, go to black as a highlight or featured color. Looking for some running room is Hubbard. Not much there, right up the middle. Pushes away at about the 10, 11 yard line. It's going to be marked there. Clock running with 8.5 remaining in the contest. It's about a gain of 2, bring up a 2nd and 8. The Birds can't get too conservative here. And normally Coach Barnes doesn't do this. I think back to last week's contest against Hamilton, they had back-to-back 3-and-outs coming out of the locker room that really made them flat, and that's when Desert make that Hamilton got back in the ballgame. This time Miller fires, pass is complete. Big tight end Jack Helston out there who had just a great 7-on-7 season. The passing league. Helston also with a touchdown reception tonight, able to haul that one in. It's going to bring up a 3rd and very manageable, about a long 2 or 3 for the Birds. 7:45 now remaining in the ball game, and the Birds 3rd and 3. Sure be nice to see a long drive to eat up a bunch of clock. And of course, put some points on the scoreboard. Look for Hubbard here. Instead, Jack fires across the middle. Helston again. Wraps it in. Good job by Jack. Back-to-back catches by the junior. Nice ball, good catch. Move the sticks. Keep that clock rolling. Let's go, Shap. Ball spotted right at the 20-yard line, close to the near hash. So what started out to be a very warm, muggy evening here in Scottsdale after that storm blew through is absolutely crystal clear. It is gorgeous now. Check the local temperature passing on to you in a second here. Hubbard dancing, picking, spinning. 4 Desert Mountain defenders not able to bring him down there. Crack pack of wolves. That's what public announcer Tom Carroll says. Love that, man. 83 degrees is where we're at here in Scottsdale. 6:40 remaining in the ball game, and the Birds on the move, faced with a 2nd and 3 here. So Desert Mountain may have had some happy feet up front. Hard count by Jack. And that's the case. So that's going to give the Birds another first down. Move those sticks. And officially 2nd time tonight he's drawn Desert Mountain offsides that way. So a hard count. Very effective. Little voice inflection. So move the sticks. Ball up to the 32-yard line and reset the chains. Norvell, the second, bottom of your screen as a high snap. Thank goodness. A whistle and flags flying that one, but that was launched to Mars. It's like a procedure penalty. It is against the Birds. So they'll back them up 5 yards. After that one's marched off, the ball will be spotted about the 27-yard line. So 1st and 15 for Miller and crew here. 6 minutes now remaining in the ball game. Tommy Christakis says he's still looking at the signals on the sideline, trying to get his route down. Looks like Jack's going to pull it himself and drag a defender for about 3-4 yards, up to about the 30-yard line. Spot on the far hash. Let's bring up a 2nd, and I'm going to call it 12. Ball right at the 30-yard line. Looks like the Birds may be content to burn some clock here with the Wolves in effect down by 2 scores. Miller dropping, got a man wide open and overthrows him. Oh, Jack. Ooh. Devin Crawford had 2 or 3 steps on his man, and Miller does, and he knows it. You can look at Jack and see he's hanging his head, clapping his hands. He knew he had him wide open. Good fly route by Devin on the outside, but Jack unable to find him. So that one falls to the turf. They'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Sure is shooting. Just as soon as I talk about the Birds running some clock, they put one in the air and stop the clock. So 5:09 remaining, and the Birds up 28-16 here. Darvon right behind Jack now, shifts to his right. Wolves showing pressure. And back off. Our boys look at the sideline for play call. Clock down to 4-3, and Coach Barnes wants to talk about it. 3rd and 12. Key call coming here. As I mentioned, the Birds up with a couple score advantage, 28-16. So do you go for it here or keep it on the ground, keep the clock running, and possibly punt it away? That defense, like I said, has been bend and break all night long. And the odds of the Wolves putting out a couple scores are slim. Although, again, I think back to last year's contest, Desert Mountain coming back way late and then able to tie that up on a bogus call and win it. Never count them out. So we'll see what Coach Barnes dials up here. Great home opener in effect for our boys tonight. Outstanding crowd, great fan support. Not just the students, but I see a ton of parents, a lot of alumni. I see a lot of former players, parents here. I've had the pleasure, as I mentioned, being around the program. This is my 6th year. A lot of players returning. It's a Shaptown thing. It's what we do. We're family. You may go away, but you don't forget and you come back. The winning traditions here and just want to be a part of this electric atmosphere. So come out and enjoy Firebird football on Friday nights in Scottsdale, Arizona. Third and 12 now. Twins near side. Once again, the Wolves show blitz, but back off. Miller all kinds of time. Fires downfield for Norvell, and too far for Marcus. He too had his man beat, but too much air in that one, unfortunately. Misled him too much. So that one falls the turf with 5:02 now remaining, and the Birds will punt it away. Looks like the Barnes going, Coach Barnes, I should say, going for the knockout punch right there. Just didn't quite happen out beyond Marcus's fingertips. So Tommy will punt it away as once again Maximus Movis Walker, my newly adopted, I should say, nickname for him. He has had some moves out there tonight. Ready to receive it inside his 30-yard line. Good snap. Tommy gets it away into that wind. That one turns over. Wow, what a beautiful punt. Great bounce for the Birds. Inside the 10, going to be down to about the 7-yard line. That's an awesome punt. 30, 70, do the math, 70 minus, what was 60, yeah, 64, 63-yard punt, something like that. Wow. Into the wind, folks. That thing is sky high and turned over. You can see his strong leg on display there, and certainly why Coach Barnes has a ton of faith in the kicking game with Tommy. So Desert Mountain with that West Coast offense is going to have a sense of urgency, I should say, to get down the field a little more quickly, because even if they score, unless they try an onside kick, they got to get two scores to get in front of our Birds. Slovis with Walker to his right. Here come the Birds. Lots of pressure. Slovis rolling, being chased. Underneath has a man. And blown up across the way. Passes Mueller, able to bring that one in. Cam Hightower able to come up and stop him on that play. Ben Edelbutte also assisting. And good news, it appears that Ashton Liddell, number 16, is back in the ball game. So good to see that young man out there after he was limping getting off. Okay, I'm trying to see the 10 versus 16. Maybe that's Edelbutte. It is 10. No. That is Liddell. Waving his hands right in the lower part of your screen. So great job training staff to get Ashton back in the ball game here tonight. Ball at the 19-yard line as the Wolves try to up-tempo here. Fires, pass is caught again. Same receiver. Mueller up to the 29-yard line, close to another first down. That quick slant that I talked about has been open all night long. Traction tests were able to bring him in, and not until the Wolves move the sticks again here, folks. Up-tempo, quick movement, and I see in the scoreboard the Wolves have 2 timeouts remaining. Pressure off the edge. And going to be wrapped up this time. Jackson Richards all over him like white on rice. Send that one in the mail, folks. You got that right, Jackson. Takes Slovis to the turf as we approach 3:30 now remaining in the ball game. It's going to be way late for the Wolves offense, and that defense licking their chops, being able to bring the pressure and all over Slovis here. Dropping. Fires near side, has a man. Good catch. Nice defense too. All over him was Damon Williamson, but perfectly placed ball. Vince Ellison up to about the 32-yard line. And we got a player down in the field. Can't see who that is. Shielded by the linesman right there. Appears to be one of the Desert Mountain players with 3:03 remaining. As I mentioned, folks, my pleasure to bring you these broadcasts. Exciting ball game here tonight. The Birds looking to close this one out and go 2-0 on the young season. And with La Jolla coming in here next week, hopefully improve the record to 3-0 with a bye week to get healthy and get focused for the Saguaro SaberCats. 3 state championships in a row for the SaberCats. Looks like the Desert Mountain player being tended to is Vince Ellison, number 9. He's been their go-to receiver all night, he and Reichelt. And, we've had a few of the boys be flat on their back tonight, but the training staffs on both sides of the ball doing a great job tending to them. And I can tell with this young man, once again, it's a collaborative effort between the trainers on both sides to check him out. They always look around at his neck area and the shoulder pads and make sure he's okay. Which, of course, as you know, brings me an opportunity to look in the program and see what else we can talk about. This awesome program that is free. Pick one up, man. It's great stuff in here. Again, talks about the coaching staff. It's got senior class photos. It's got individual bios, just some captain's pictures, outstanding. It's really good stuff. Freshman, coaching staff, JV coaching staff, the squad's broken down. So it's a must-have. Got to have it. And the thing I really like is that the mustard jerseys we got in here. We busted those out last year for the first time. I know our colors it's called Old Gold, but they look mustard to me, so got to see those to experience them in person. So still tending to him, and the longer it goes, that isn't necessarily a good deal. He's okay. You can see right in front of your screen there, the bottom part of your screen, I should say, a lot of the Birds taking a knee, as the Desert Mountain plays have across the way, out of respect for him. It's a tough situation, especially he's not gotten off his back yet. Hopefully they can get him up and get him moving. I mentioned earlier the outstanding Firebirds football board I have a pleasure of being on, and I want to give a shout out one more time to all of our very active, engaged, and outstanding board members. And of course, I'm on there. Stuart Walks, Dave Wojciechowski, Christian Cervantes, Aaron Miner, Kurt Gwitten, John Springfield, Diane Treaster, Lisa Groger, James Jorgensen, Melissa Kelso-Lenz, Jennifer Wells-Kepke, Shireen Edelblut, and Holly Mercurio. You guys are so appreciated by the coach, by the community, by me. Love you guys. Couldn't do without you. So this has turned into quite a long contest with obviously the weather delay. For those of you who stayed with us, and thank you for staying with us. You could feel that moving in, lightning coming in. Of course, the officiating crew making the decision to postpone coming out of the halftime for the players' safety, and then having a hard time getting some of the calls straightened out early in the third quarter. And it's almost 10:30, I think, local time. It is 10:33, wherever you are. Again, I know I got people texting me from Texas. I got a son in Kansas. We got listeners in Colorado. We got an audience in Oklahoma. Appreciate all that. Share the word. We're on YouTube. You can watch this whenever you want. Get those views up. You want Firebird football to be part of your fall and into the hopeful playoff run, I should say, in the late fall, early winter. And speaking of the schedule, I've done it a couple times. You look at our actual division as Matt Clyfield joins me. Yes, Mr. Matt.
What's the name of the company that does your camera?
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hold on 1 second, man. So I got to give a shout out, man. You know, that's a good thing. We had dead air there for about 15, 20 seconds. Matt Clyfield, who's one of the public address PA box announcers, came over and is giving a lot of props. I want to give a shout out to Joel, man. Joel, my cameraman. You're doing such a great job that a couple parents are texting him, want to know what's the camera company that we use. I said, well, I think it's called Joel Sanchez LLC Limited, man. Way to go, brother. So really impressed with your shots, and also got a couple comments about the commentary. Again, you're all so kind. Thank you. Appreciate that. We are under the producing direction of Mr. John Springfield, technical director, and Dave Wojo. We couldn't do it without you guys because we're so highly paid to do this. It's a labor of love, is I think what they call this stuff. So it's good. Way to go, Joel. Joel, love it, man. And good to have you with us, brother. Your son's rocking the freshman team. Let's go. And unfortunately, folks, they're still tending to Mr. Ellison down there. If he hasn't moved, that isn't a good deal. I see Coach Barnes over there in the middle, and they're going to walk over and talk to his players. I just hope and pray it's nothing that's neck or spinal column or something like that involved. They don't want to move him. Have to give him a neck brace or something like that. So, Joel, I know you can hear me, man. We're going to mic you up so you can talk back and forth with me. We're going to talk to the Boosters about putting you on the air, man. Let's get you going. So a 3:03 remaining in the ball game. We're a little bit of a injury delay here, unfortunately. Birds have looked really good coming out in the second half. Darvin Hubbard on the ground. As I mentioned, a 60-yard touchdown sprint by Jared Williams. First and only carry of the ball game. Good job by Jared. And then Jack Miller being Jack Miller, quite frankly. Nice hookup with Tommy Kostakis. Defense has been bend but don't break. That West Coast offense of the Wolves has been up and down the field but not able to put it in. Again, I'm going to be curious to look at the max preps numbers and see how many attempts Slovis has. He's got to be 55, 60 plus, and a lot of yards, but I think only one touchdown strike that I'm aware of. So our own Jack Miller has 3. Hence our score 28-16 as we wait to get this sorted out on the field, and certainly no hurry. We want to make sure they take care of Vince Ellison. Vince is listed as a 6'2", 165-pound senior, and he's had a stellar game tonight. As I mentioned, he's been the go-to receiver for Slovis. He and Armand Reichelt definitely been targeted and had the most receptions. Oh, boy. So looking out of the press box, trying to share with you what I can see. And Joel, I know, is kind of keeping you updated what he can see, what's going on. It is a beautiful evening, as I mentioned. Most of the storms have rolled out of the Phoenix area as I give you my own local weather update and forecast. See the Diamondbacks were losing 6-3 to the Mariners. See if I can get an update on that one. Of course, our D-backs in first place in the National League West. I was glad to see the Dodgers 4.5 back. I'm not a Dodgers fan, so. Rockies have been hot recently, and our own Boosters Club president, Mr. James Jorgensen, a huge fan of the world champion Houston Astros, trying to hang on as the A's and the Mariners clawing on the back. How about those amazing A's this year? And who could forget the Boston Red Sox, on pace to break the all-time record for most wins in a baseball season. So that's your baseball update tonight, courtesy of Jay Candy Boy, coming to you on the Firebirds Network. I see that all the players continue to be on their knee out of respect, and we're putting an air cast down there. I don't know if Joel has any kind of a zoom in going on there for you guys or not to see, but don't want to belabor the point. But to be positive, again, it was a great turnout tonight. A lot of enthusiasm. Should be. Number 5 team in the state after that great upset last week on the road at Chandler Hamilton. To go down there and knock them off in their house, packed crowd, band was roaring, all kinds of media coverage. It's an awesome win for our boys. So if they're going to try either get a cart or they're on the walkie-talkie, either a cart or something to help him get off the field there. Yeah. So one of the Shap trainers coming over for, it's like a brace. It's almost like a neck brace, I think. So I can keep reading commercials and keep you guys entertained if you want to listen to me and watch the field there. So going through again some of our sponsors, which I love to do because they are awesome. As I mentioned a couple times, can't do this without them. We can't have our great training camp we had in Flagstaff this year, which was very successful for our boys. 7-on-7 went very successful I should say. You know, all your sponsor dollars and all your Boosters Club dollars go to the program and make sure we have the best in equipment, the best in facilities. All of our restaurants, so I give them shout outs for all your pregame meals and giving VIP meals in the lounge. It's just so appreciated here in Shaptown, and it's the tradition that keeps on giving, truly, from one generation to another. As I mentioned, for those of you that came on the air or listened to me first part of the broadcast, you know, the Birds have 6 state championships, 99, 2000, 2002, and then 3 in a row from 9, 10, 11. And looking to get back in that championship hunt, several regional championships, but we haven't been to the state finals in, so it'll be 5 years now, my second year broadcasting, and looking to certainly this year make it in the playoffs, go far, and not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but with the schedule we've got, I started to talk about our region. You have to look at Pinnacle as a regional favorites, folks, and again, that game, which is scheduled for October 19th, is going to be on ESPNU, is my understanding. And the following week, we actually close out at home against Liberty, the Lions. Great defensive ball club, and they'll be in the hunt. So I think we're one of the 3 favorites to take the region. Now, the non-conference game, I already talked about Sorrel in a couple weeks, but the one that really stands out to me going down the stretch is the Mountain Point game in October 12th. Don't want to miss that one, too. That is the return of former head coach and defensive coordinator Conrad Hamilton coming back to Shap. He was defensive coordinator for many years, head coach for 2 years, was promoted to Coach Todd Graham's coaching staff at ASU, and then came back as defensive coordinator for our most recent head coach, Thomas Lewis, the last couple of years, actually last year I should say, and then has now moved down to Mountain Point where he's a defensive coordinator down there, and he'll be bringing his defensive prowess, and he's known as a defensive wizard in high school football, to Shaptown on October 10th. So we do see a medical crew coming on board here on the field to take care of Vince. Again, our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. Hopefully everything is okay for that young man. Just hate to see something like this happen to anybody, quite frankly. So I see Dave Wojo come by, give him some nucks. Wojo, man, great job today setting up all the stuff in Birdland, making sure we got the roof taken care of. Shout out to Strong Tower. Got that new roof in our press box. Looks outstanding. We got some built-in tables, which are dynamite for our Echo, which is a sideline review crew, which I don't know if Joel can get you a shot. It's already a screen. You can see the big monitor right down there in front of our home bench. It's called Sideline Review or Echo program. That's the coaches use. They can analyze each play and break it down to either offensive or defensive. Looks at schemes, look at trends, those types of things. And you can see it's frozen on a play right now. And again, I don't know if Joel can get a close-up for you there or not. And anyway, that's one of Wojo's contraptions also, Wojo. Man, he came up with that sideline review, which is the box, put the whole thing together. And it's just a great advantage we've had. Now, some of the other schools, I know Wojo was telling me last week that Mesa High has adopted that. It's something that's used at the high school and college level, but not in the pros, believe it or not. So it's an advantage that our coaches have. And we're, as always, are on the leading edge of technology, facilities here at Chaparral football. Man, this is rough. I'm sure the players on both sides aren't going to want to almost feel like continuing this game when something like this happens. Only 3 minutes and 3 seconds left. Again, our score 28-16. 3rd and 8 upcoming. And Desert Mountain about to lose one of their leaders here. Let's see if I can look up the Diamondback score. Maybe somebody out there in Birdland can check it out for me. I can pass it on across the air. So it's all about me filling up this dead air time here for you guys. Keep you entertained, which is interesting by itself. For those of you listening for the first and watching for the first time, many years I've had a color analyst, statistician. Love to have somebody step up and help me in the booth. I can do that. It enriches our broadcast, obviously. Add some color, have more statistical analysis, and kind of deepen the game. So I'm going to look up Arizona Diamondback score, see if I can get that here. How do our D-backs do tonight? Well, 6-3. They lost 6-3 to the Mariners. Okay, all right. The Mariners got a good ball club. They're in town over the weekend. So the EMTs look like now administering to Vince Ellison down there, the 30-yard line. Certainly don't want to risk anything for him. So that's been a good ball game for a lot of depth to play, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I've noticed that Ashton Liddell has got a lot of PT. Good to see that. Capri Hamilton's been in there on some kick returns. Extra Parker Smith, a lot of reps. Alex Monson coming back, his first playing time, missed last week's ball game. Of course, the regulars, they do it every week, are out there, but a little more depth being employed. As you can see, the stretcher is going to be put underneath Vince. Certainly don't want to move him. A lot of concerned folks huddled around that young man down there. It's about the best hands he could be in a situation like this. See some of the birds trotting down to the far end of the field to kind of get loose. The juice is going in effect. It's not a disrespect, just trying to be ready for the ball game's ready to go. And I'm sure not to presume anything. There's a Mountain Ball Club, but I'd probably like to stop this thing right now out of respect for their fallen teammate here. You got Vince loaded on there. Trying to see if I can figure out who head coach David Sedmak is of the Wolves. I think he's the gentleman standing right there in the maroon polo shirt with the khakis. Very concerned about his young player, student athlete. Of course, Coach Barnes. Scottsdale said EMTs right there. Going to strap him in and make sure he's as safe as he can be. Not much else you really can say at a time like this. It's tough, folks. So you all know that, I know. I also did mention that the JV crew that was lightninged out last night at Desert Mountain, they are going to be playing tomorrow, and last I heard it's 8:30 kick. It will be our JV squad first action of the season, so if you're up early and feel so inclined, and if I didn't have to work, I'd be there to support that very talented young JV team we have, which, by the way, our freshman team is off to a 2-0 start. Way to go, young birds. The freshman birds, way to rock it and represent. JV squad gets their first action, and then also announced today there will be a game this following Thursday, since the JV crew did not have a contest against Hamilton the first week of the season. They're going to be playing Notre Dame here next Thursday as a JV game, so they'll have a couple games basically in a short time frame. Saturday morning game, I should say, against Desert Mountain, and then Thursday evening against Notre Dame. So a couple of rivals for the JV crew to kind of get going with. And this late evening tonight, and then up early tomorrow, so the boys will be a little tired, but I know they're going to be ready to roll against the JV squad from Desert Mountain tomorrow morning. So again, if you feel so inclined, I hear 8:30 kickoff time at Desert Mountain is the plan for tomorrow for the JV game. I see several of the Birds out there talking to the referee, and again, not out of disrespect, as the Wolves offense is huddled on the far side of the field, inside the 30-yard line. Certainly want to give, again, Vince all the respect due to him, but we also do have to finish the game, unfortunately. It does appear the Birds have got this one pretty well in hand, up 28-16, 3:03 remaining. And the Wolves faced with a 3rd and 8 from their own 31 upcoming after Vince Ellison, who's down in the field, had a great catch to hang on to that ball. I'm going to say ambulance, unfortunately, is on the track here to take him away. So I've been calling Birds games for 6 years now, and actually I called 2 years in Fountain Hills prior to that, so 8 years overall. And haven't had to have one carted off the field yet. We've had a couple that were neck braces, but this is the first, unfortunately. See the gurney and stretcher coming in. Picture. Well, I bet if I was to guess, 75% of the people in this Firebirds, excuse me, sidelines have disappeared. It was just electric, absolutely electric here earlier, folks. It was great to see. We've had some homecoming crowds really good and some good energy the last couple of years, but the last regular season game I can remember having the kind of turnout, energy, enthusiasm, electricity in the air was that aforementioned Saguaro game, which is 5 years ago here, which the Birds pulled out. Then quarterback Sean Paul Berry threw a winning touchdown pass in the waning moments to pull that one out for the Birds, and that game was packed. So the Birds are back, folks. Come enjoy it. Come take it in. Or watch us if you can't make it. It's an exciting brand of football. Coach Barnes has instilled a whole new culture here about accountability, responsibility. You couple that with great skill athletes, some good biggies, incredible boosters club and fan support, and it is an awesome environment. Looks like Vince is going to be wheeled away here. As, he does raise his arm up. It's probably his mom there by his side. Again, hopes and prayers for the young man, courageous young man. Our hearts go out to you, brother. It's a gridiron warrior here tonight, man. So we got to finish this thing, guys. 3:03 remaining in the ball game, and gonna wrap this one up. It's not over from a scoring perspective either. Plenty of lightning in that right arm of Keaton Slovis, the USC-bound quarterback for Desert Mountain. So our defense has got to be ready here. And I'm sure they would love nothing better than knock off the number 5 6A rated team in the state right here on their home turf. And a referee winds the clock. We're ready for action. 3 minutes exactly now remaining in the ball game. Slovan surveys the defense. Trips far side. And here comes motion. Slovis drops. Plenty of time, all kinds of time. And being flushed, going to launch downfield. It has a man. Ball sailed on him, intended for Reichelt, but too much on that. Looks like the air may have picked that one up a little bit. So that one drops the turf to bring up a 4th and 8. That thing was thrown like a laser. Again, that shows why he is USC bound. Ton of talent. Get him over there, and of course he's been under the tutelage of Kurt Warner. It shows. 4th and 8. This is do or die time for the Wolves. Trips bunch shown far side. Slovis drops. Going to be pressured. Goes a screen underneath. Maximus. No Maximus on that one, and he is short. No Maximus. No first downimus. Birds take over us. That'll be 2:28 in the 4th. And the Birds can pretty much ice this one away with a nice win here tonight. Up 28-16, 2 timeouts remaining. Wolves also have 2. See if Coach Barnes wants to just run this one out on the ground or possibly take a knee. And go in and celebrate a nice victory at home here. Jack Miller hands to Darvon Hubbard, dancing, juking, breaking the outside, the 20, the 10, touchdown Hubbard, touchdown Birds. At the 2:18 mark, Darvon Hubbard bouncing outside, 32-yard scoring run unofficially. Ups the score to 34-16, so a nice a B-gap run for Darvon, and then bounce the outside across the far sideline, absolutely dashed in the end zone, so that is it. Nice job for Darvon. Tommy Christakis on for the PAT. I got to give that one up to Coach Barnes, not trying to throw and run up the score. Great individual effort for Darvon, doing what he needs to do. As running out late is Oliver Karras, not quite sure I missed that, but anyway, the PAT is good, minus Oliver Karras. That extends the Birds' lead to 35-16 with 2:18 now remaining in the ball game. So this one is over, in effect. Just a few more ticks to put it away. I'll look forward to bringing you the game next week. You don't want to miss it, folks. We'll be home against La Jolla, the Lobos. If you're in the area, come out and support your Birds. Otherwise, please watch us Firebird Football YouTube. Spread the word. Tell your family and friends. Don't want to miss it. It's Friday Night Lights and number 5 ranked ball club going into next week's contest. Don't want to overlook anybody, as I mentioned, but at least on paper, it appears to be a fairly easy game for our boys. And then into the bye week before we take on the Saguaro Sabercats, the hated Saguaro Sabercats, down the street. The first week of September, make it the September 14th. So from the far hash, Christakis to kick it away. You can almost feel that the air has come out of the proverbial bag for the Desert Mountain Ball Club, and understandably so after their fallen comrades. So Tommy's going to pop this one up. It's going to hit the turf and go out of bounds. Penalty. Ball over the 35-yard line. It's called legal procedure in high school football. as the wind continues to pick up here in the booth, which just feels fantastic. Awesome evening ending up weather-wise, and you can tell that the weather in Arizona is slowly turning and changing at the end of the monsoon, not as hot and humid. So a break is around the corner, which really feels like true football weather. So first down at the 35-yard line for the Wolves, 2:18 remaining in the contest. See what they decide to do here for the rest of this ball game. Slova's going to air it out, or what's going to happen there? Don't see Walker's not in the backfield. Actually, it's Brett Narveson who does get the handoff. Fights his way up to the 38, 39-yard line. Going to be driven out of bounds there by Braxton Tessler, one of the linebacker twins, the Tessler brothers. I mentioned Z and Braxton. Going to be a 4-yard gain, bring up a second and make it a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7, ball spotted at the 38. Clock running with 1:50 now remaining in the ball game. Not much of a sense of urgency out of the Wolves here. As Slovis under center, trips far side, gives again to Narveson. Not much running room there either, actually dragged down for a loss. Z and Tessler wrapping him up. As we wind towards 1 minute now remaining, be 3rd down and, we'll call it 3rd down and long 5.
Walker, the ball carrier, Tessler on the stop.
One minute now remaining, and play clock down to 10 seconds. Again, the Wolves are in no hurry to do much here. 3rd and 6, ball at the 39. A little misdirection, and wisely Slovis just slides down to the ground. That could be the ball game, depending on how when the referee resets that clock. It's 4th down and 10, and he hasn't blown the whistle yet. Not quite sure who hasn't started it. There we go. He waited till, sly move, waited till it was under 25 seconds, which means the ball game's over. So the clock will run out, and our final score from Shaptown is your Birds 35, the Desert Mountain Wolves 16. Our Birds improved to 2-0. Jay Candyboy coming to you. My pleasure to bring you these broadcasts. Join us next week when we entertain the La Jolla Fighting Lobos here from Shaptown. Our final score, Birds 35, Wolves 16. Good night.